Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report for Thursday, January 26th.
Oh, my.
Show number 265. Coming at you live from the Hammer Down Racing Report. John Young Racing for First Responders, and Dave Kemmer Studio.
Yeah. Hope you all enjoyed the snow. Yeah. It,
Yeah.
doesn't do anything for me.
I almost forgot about that.
Yeah.
It seems like it was so long ago in the future.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Tonight on the show, we're going to be speaking with dirt modified racer Charlie, you can't park there, Mefford.
Yeah.
16-year-old modified driver. He's got his own podcast now, which is also called You Can't Park There. Made a name for himself after flipping his modified at the Gateway Dirt National. So he'll be joining us here in just a little bit.
Yeah, he, what an interview. Oh.
Yeah, we're not really sure what to expect, but we're hoping it's going to be good. Yeah. There I am. So, coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, sort of. We were number 160 in Australia on the Apple Podcast.
We're creeping on up there.
Yeah, in the leisure automotive category. I think that was because of Hot Rod Ronnie.
I was going to say the Veronica
McCann. Red Hot Ronnie. I keep getting that wrong.
Yep,
Red Hot Ronnie.
The Veronica McCann interview brought some more listeners in.
Spiked our Australian listeners. So come on, U.S., step it up.
Tell your friends, my Aussie buddies, make sure you tell your friends and have them listen in.
Hit us up on hammerdownracingreport.com and or whatever your favorite podcasting platform is, be it Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. What do you listen to podcasts on? You listen to Spotify, don't you?
Yeah.
Your music and stuff?
I do.
So you can listen to podcasts, too.
I'm a Spotifyer.
You're on fire, that's for sure.
I've got a couple of pretty cool playlists on Spotify. Some followers, and yeah.
I've heard some of your playlist.
Yeah.
Thanks to Big D's Pizza in Clyde. Give them a call right now, 419-547-1444. Order online at orderbigdspizza.com. They got the Chicken Wings Facebook special with 10 jumbo wings and your choice of sauce for just $8.99. Make sure to follow Big D's Pizza on Facebook for all the latest specials, because sometimes they'll just randomly pop on a special on there.
Maybe one of these days he'll have a special about late models.
Well, he sponsored Devin Moran.
Yeah, he did.
Big D's Pizza. Big on taste, not on price. Contact Freeze Frame Photos for all your racing photo needs, from action shots to victory lane. They got those new items we've been talking about, the custom cups for kids, 20-ounce tumblers, water bottles, and pretty much anything you can think of. They can put freeze frame photos on it, action shots, victory lane shots of whoever, whatever.
And Charlie hasn't called me. I still want a calendar.
He hasn't called you yet?
Yeah. Maybe he's not listening.
Well, he better be. He may be working. You never know. Freeze frame photos, special moments, frozen in time. Call Charlie, 419-476-9978. Also, that number scrolling at the bottom of the screen if you're listening to us.
Yeah.
Or watching us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. Also, thanks to Oakshade Raceway, Ron Miller Race Cars, and Headhunters Barber Studio and Salon. Not much racing action this past weekend, but there was a little bit. So let's check it out.
Racing Roundup.
The World of Outlaw Case Construction Late Models kicked off their season down at Volusia. And it was supposed to be 3 days of racing, and it
wasn't.
It didn't turn out to be that way, but that was okay for Devin Moran, because he was your winner Friday and Thursday and Friday, I should say. Saturday, the rain was the winner there.
Yeah. Caused both of us a little consternation.
A little bit looking for the race. Where is it?
Surfing. What are they doing? Why am I watching classic sprint cars?
Yeah, that's what was on. That's what I saw too.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
I was wondering that myself. So, Devin Moran, he's undefeated in World of Outlaw competition in 2023.
And shooting for Rookie of the Year?
I'm not sure if he's eligible for that.
I don't know.
We'll have to reach out. Dean probably knows. He knows everything.
I'm sure.
He can put that in the comments.
Dean will tell us.
Absolutely. And that's pretty much it for Racing Roundup. Not much from this past weekend. Things are starting to ramp up a little bit. Next month's going to get a little
It's going to get crazy here real soon.
Yeah, we do have a little bit of racing news for you.
Latest racing news.
On Saturday afternoon, Bell Kemenah Racing was introduced to the world through Christopher Bell's Twitter feed. Bell announced the creation of his new open-wheel team along with mechanic and driver lineups for the upcoming season. BKR will be led by Bell's father-in-law, Brian Kemenah, who will serve as co-team owner and crew chief. Eric Manfras will be the second mechanic. The livery will consist of winged sprint cars, non-winged sprint cars, and midgets piloted by Jada Bowling, Gavin Boschel, and Cullen Hutchinson.
I didn't catch a whole lot of really familiar names there.
No. But another
maybe
cup driver starting the team.
He's probably planning on making those household names.
Probably. And I would guess that they'll have a backup car should Christopher Bell want to stop by any particular event that they're racing in.
Thursday night or something. Yeah. Who knows?
What else we got here? I got that story in there twice. It makes it look like I have more notes in here. According to racingnews.co, Natalie Decker made a TikTok post suggesting that NASCAR doesn't support women. The post read, quote, and if we have any little children out there, maybe earmuff time, but this is the quote. You sacrificed and worked your whole life to compete in this sport that feeds you. And let me start out because it's kind of written weird. So let me start over here again. You sacrificed and worked your whole life to compete in this sport that feeds you and the public bullshit that they support women. So that's just reading it straight.
Right.
But I think it's supposed to be read like, you sacrificed and worked. She's talking about herself, sacrificing and worked her whole life to compete in this sport, this sport that feeds you and the public, which I think is this one and the same, the bullshit that they support women. Unquote. I think she deleted that. I did not see the original TikTok post of that. I saw I
thought it was taken down.
I think she did, but yeah. So I don't know what that's all about. But we're a racing report, so we're just going to report it out there and let you make your own judgments about that. Toledo Speedway season opener will now be Friday, May 12th, and not on Sunday. Crap, May 12th. I wrote that down. Whatever that weekend is, I don't even know what I did with my phone. Did I leave that downstairs?
Well, if it was Sunday the 12th, that'd be Friday the 10th.
Yeah. So that Toledo Speedway is starting that Friday,
May
12th. So that's I just didn't correct the Saturday. So it's Friday, May 12th. It was originally going to be Sunday the 14th. But that's what they originally published. It's now going to be Friday.
No, they republished it.
Yeah, they republished it for Friday the 12th at 7 o'clock. So, and we'll tell you more about that closer to the date. Photographer was struck by a race car at Irwindale Speedway on Saturday night. And it was funny because I just watched a terrible movie Saturday night.
Yeah.
F9 is a Fast and Furious movie. It was just a movie I had that I hadn't watched ever. And I wanted to get rid of it, and it was terrible. But they actually have some footage that they shot at Irwindale Speedway, but they had, I forget what it was called, Baldwin Speedway or something. Okay. They labeled it something different in the movie, and I looked it up, and I was like, Irwindale Speedway, because I wanted to know where it was, and it was this track, but and Irwindale was having a real race on Saturday night. The Spears Southwest Tour Super Late Models were in action, and as a photographer was struck by one of those cars. One of the cars spun on the front stretch and went backwards into the inside wall. The rear of the car popped up on top of the wall and kind of slid along it. And the photographer was kind of down there. He kind of tried to duck out of the way, but the rear of the car kind of caught him, knocked him down. They took him in an ambulance. 15 minutes later, though, he was back taking pictures.
With a headache.
I don't know if he had a headache or anything.
Probably.
There's no details on his condition, but I'm thinking he was okay. It didn't look too bad, but still, that's got to be a scary situation.
Photographers are tough dudes.
Those guys are,
really.
they're, yeah.
Or chicks.
Yeah, yes. And they're out there. And like, Charlie has no fear. Some of the times I'm wondering, what's he doing? But yeah, I have a lot of respect, mad respect for the photographers. All
Hey,
right, looks like
fellas.
Charlie
Hey,
Mefford
Charlie.
joining us now. How's it going, Charlie?
Yeah. Oh, just getting off work, rushing home, so I can hit up the podcast.
What kind?
Off of work, I figured somebody as famous as you would have people throwing money at them.
I wish, man.
How much has your life changed since the Gateway Dirt Nationals and that crash and that interview that happened afterwards?
I don't feel anything at all different. I mean, yeah, I'm getting a lot of media spotlight, but me as myself, I don't feel like I've changed a bit.
Okay, but you're getting a lot more attention. I'm assuming.
Oh, you know it. I've had tons of people send me friend requests on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Heck, we went from like 4,000 followers on my racing page to over 10,000. So
How about T-shirt sales, Charlie?
Oh my Lord! T-shirt sales went. It was about Pierre, and I went and a little bit more.
Are they still there, or has things leveled off?
They've leveled off. I mean, we're still selling T-shirts every day. Like one thing, Dad was talking to Matt today. One funny thing is that they when somebody buys a shirt, not even my shirt, when somebody like goes to look at a shirt or buy a shirt, they end up buying one of mine as well. So it's pretty cool.
That is pretty awesome.
If one of our listeners wants to buy a shirt, as long as we're on that topic, how can they do it?
RaceRanchwear.com/Charlie Mefford Racing. You got a pretty good selection. You got my 2021 shirt with the orange, the Pit Lizard Pimp shirt, and the dome shirt. The You Can't Park There.
That was
we are working on a new design for a Speed Weeks coming up. So be on the lookout for that.
Are you going down to Florida?
We're gonna try to go to Volusia. So somebody here, if you can't tell, Oakley,
Okay.
my motor builder. That's who I work for. Somebody has to step on the gas and get their motor ready.
Gotcha. Now let's back up before we talk about the Gateway Dirt Nationals and everything beyond that. Obviously, Charlie Mefford was not a household name until you flipped and You Can't Park There and all that in the Pit Lizard Pimp. Did you get that name? Did you give that name to yourself, or where did that come from?
Look, it's kind of just kind of came on to me. I mean, what's a kid, going to a racetrack, 16 years old like me, I mean, the women's situation in life is, at a peak. It's before I'm starting to settle down, and it's before I have kids. So, it's better now than never. So it's just kind of like pimp, you get all the women.
So do you have a girlfriend or what's going on?
Nope.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Nope.
Has the interest from the females increased since early December?
Yeah. I'm still getting them rolling in and sending me pictures and videos. Like I had one yesterday send me a video just me sitting down, just sitting in the stand. She's like, I'm such a huge fan. This and that. It was pretty funny.
I would assume some of them are embarrassing.
No.
No.
I wouldn't say embarrassing. I think it's pretty cool.
Okay, yeah, we're not even going to touch it.
I'm looking at your T-shirt. That says Barron's. Is that Barron's Speed Supply?
Yeah, the Performance Warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sent us some stuff here a while back. Gave us a gift card. So yeah,
those are good people. I've known them a long time.
We got some pretty comfy hoodies too. I like wearing this every once in a while.
All right.
So let's talk about your racing career prior to the Gateway Dirt Nationals. How long have you been running a modified? How did you get into racing? What did you start out at?
This coming up. Heck, I'm only 16 years old, but this is my 10th year racing. coming
Wow.
up 2023. Started off in go-karts, ripe age of 5 years old, didn't even know the alphabet and I was racing go-karts. So it's one of those funny deals. I race go-karts here locally at TNN Raceway, a few miles down the road.
That's in Kentucky?
Yeah. Same town as, I was born and raised in. Then we just kind of started, I wouldn't say, venturing out, but we started going to more local tracks and stuff like that. And afterwards, we just started buying better equipment, getting surrounded by better people. Started winning a lot around here. Heck, I was 8 years old racing with 15, 16-year-olds. I progressed really fast, and I had really good people in my corner.
And what were you racing?
Go-kart still.
Okay.
Still go-kart. Josh Evans, he tremendously helped my racing career. Still kind of race for him every once in a while. Last winter, heck, I got back in a go-kart and I dominated everything around here. Seemed like, and then as soon as, I kind of got noticed by a few people, and I got the chance to go down to Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, and, race go-karts down there, big time, the Tri-State Pro Series, the best in the nation go-kart wise. So I did that for about 2 years and won a few national championships, a few points championships. So I believe it was worth it. And then I got in a pretty bad wreck and tore up my leg. So Dad, he said, we're pulling the plug on the go-karts. We're getting a big car.
How many years ago was that then?
My last full year was 2017 in a go-kart.
Okay.
And
So did you jump right into the modified then?
Yeah, pretty much jumped right into a B mod. Our plan that year was just, go out, practice all year long after races, still race go-karts full time. But I practiced 3 or 4 times, and then I told Dad, I was like, I'm good. I think I got a handle of it. Let's go racing.
When did you jump into the open mod?
The A mod, I jumped in the year after. I started off in a B mod, which is just, shock changes and motor, kind of limited on what you can do.
Yep.
So you've had some success, obviously, to get the invite then to the Gateway Dirt Nationals. How excited were you for that?
So I was sitting in the concession stand line at Windy Hollow Speedway, one of my favorite racetracks of all time in Owensboro, Kentucky. And I'm sitting there, and my mama calls me because they just dropped me off. I had to run back to town to do something. So I pick up the phone and I go, "Hello." She's like, "Have you seen Facebook?" And after all these years of racing, I kind of, huh? And she's like, "Have you seen Facebook? You need to look at Facebook." I hung the phone up on my mama right then and there. And then I pulled my phone out. First thing I seen was Gateway Dirt Nationals. I'm pretty sure it was the 6th round, 3rd pick. And there my name was, Charlie Mefford. And I cried. Tears fell from my eyes. I was jumping up and down. It was a big night for me. Because, heck, I go up to Windy. I do the post-race interviews on the front stretch. So it was pretty cool. Heck, every time Blake, introduced me going on a racetrack, he said, recent Dome invitee. So it gave me chills every time, heck, I went on the racetrack that night.
That's pretty cool.
So how did you end up? I know, obviously, the flip, I believe that was in a heat race at the Gateway.
B-main.
That was in a B-main? Okay. I was watching it. I just don't remember. My memory's not that good, and that was like 2 months ago now.
Yeah,
but,
we had carburetor troubles in qualifying, so we qualified second from last. And the car, we just didn't have enough time to work out the bugs and issues. It wasn't my car. It was a boys from around home that let us borrow it. And they, we really didn't have time to get the bugs and issues out of it before we went.
Now, what happened exactly? Walk us through that incident in that.
So in the heat race, I bent something on the right front and knocked the fence down coming off a 2 right at the opening. And they, it never really felt the same. Like my steering was just twitchy and doing all that numbers. So I went off into one. Everybody was right around the bottom. I was kind of losing positions. I was like, somebody's got to do it. So I went off in there. I turned it sideways, hit a hole, got tight, smacked the brake, and just got back on the throttle. About that time, I got yawed out, and I kind of hit the cushion and it jerked sideways. And then Summer Boy was to my left. And about that time, I tried to turn right to miss him, and I tried to turn left and straighten it back out, and it just kept right. and went up in the fence. Heck, I watched the in-car video. I'm pretty sure, just a few days ago, and you can see the wheel do this and the cars do that.
Yeah, it looked like the wheel, the right front, hooked on the one of the poles there in the fence.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it hooked and then threw me around.
Now, I mean, like the adrenaline, I'm assuming, had to be going at that point. You weren't hurt.
It banged up my knee a little bit, but the next day I was fine. I'm pretty sure.
Were you feeling it though?
On the golf ride back, oh my heck, I about brought the tears. I don't know what it hit, but I was like, golly, my knee is killing me. And then I seen all the people around my pit. I hopped up and I was fine. I was like, it ain't hurting. We're good. Let's talk.
Did you have any of that pre-planned in your head of what you were going to say after you climbed out of the car?
I have dreamed since I started watching like stuff from like the Dome, Fairbury, just being on like the TV. Like I've been to the Dome every year, just to watch and pit help sometimes. And as soon as the microphone hit my face, I was like, "This is gonna be
This
good."
is me.
Yeah, it's fixing to be really good.
Well, you definitely entertained everybody. Where did the "You Can't Park There" come from?
I wouldn't say I invented it. I've heard it. I've heard it in the past, but they it's been on social media. I've seen it. I've said it. I say it constantly, like on Snapchat. Heck, I said it going to work the other day. There was a wreck on Frederica in Owensboro, and I pulled my phone out. I was like, "Hey, fellas, you cannot park there." And then I kind of videoed it when I was rolling by, and there was glass shattered everywhere. I said, "Oh, Lord have mercy." It was a pretty
Here
big
goes
wreck.
Charlie again.
Yeah. It's just I've been saying you can't park there for a while, and I was like, this is the perfect opportunity.
Well, you definitely made it your own, and now I'm guessing the next time you have a huge crowd and the microphone in your face, and you go 1, 2, 3, everybody's gonna know what to say.
It's funny. I thought about that today. Like I was on the way to work. I was like, I wonder if that would if I went back to the Dome and I was sitting up there getting an interview. I'm like, all right, folks, let's try this one more time. But what's funny is, heck, I wrecked my truck. Legit the night before I left for the Dome. And it's funny because I posted on my Snapchat story again. I was like, not a parking zone. And then I didn't know that was going to bring me, that little saying was going to bring me so much fame.
Do you are you going to be back at the Gateway Dirt Nationals next?
Not a question about it.
Okay.
I'll be there every year that event is held.
If
I got to go by myself, I'll be there.
And there's going to be a lot of people excited to see you. I'm definitely sure.
And any chance of running one of those other cars that's at the Dome?
We don't own one, but it's always been a dream to run a late model. And if it's at the Dome, I'd run it. If it was a midget at the Dome, I'd run it.
Yeah.
If I get the chance to race at the Dome again, of course I'm going to take it. I mean, heck, that's my dream event to win. If I can win the Gateway Dirt Nationals and the Prairie Dirt Classic, my career will be complete. Now I'd probably retire.
I doubt it.
You doubt it. Where do you see your racing career taking you? I mean, you're in the modified now. What's next, and where do you want to end up?
Well, racing, you can ask any driver this. They don't know what their next move is. You can go out here and heck, there's been people that have passed away from this sport. So I mean, the next time you go on the racetrack might be your last. So you never really know where your career is going to head next. But if I had my way, most definitely World of Outlaws Lucas Oil Late Model Series full time.
There you go.
Driving a house car for a chassis, a Longhorn, a Rocket, something like that. That'd be my dream. Or heck, if I driving a house car for Elite, I mean that'd be cool too. But I think Nick Hoffman has that covered up.
Well, if you could be like Jonathan Davenport,
busy.
you could earn what, $2.5 million.
If I earn $100,000 racing one year, I'd click my heels every step I took.
So who are some of your racing role models that you look
role
up to?
Models? There's been a lot over the years. I really, if there's anybody I truly looked up to, heck, I don't really know. I mean, it's one of those deals. I look up to everybody at races. I mean, I look up to Nick, Tyler, all the big guys in modifieds, all the big guys in late models. I strive to be like them every time I go on the racetrack. I want to go out there and win, but so does everybody else. So I gotta give respect to everybody else for going out there and have the same goal as me. But I really can't look up to anybody. It's one of those deals. I mean, it's just I really don't have that thought of looking up to anybody. I want to go out there and be them.
You're your own racer.
Yeah, I'm my own racer. So is everybody else. If you ask, I mean, if there's somebody, that's my favorite, then yeah, Shannon Babb, Nick, he's one of my favorite guys to go out there and race against or watch race. I mean, there's people like that, but people looking up to people. It's just, I've been racing for, so long. It's the people you look up to come your competition. So it's kind of hard to look up to people when that happens.
It's kind of funny. At last week's show, we were talking about who would make a really great guest with you. And I told Scott that you and Kenny Wallace would make an absolutely killer show.
Kenny, he's one of my close friends. I've known him since I started racing modifieds. He came down to my local show and I pretty much just walked up in his trailer and made it home. He didn't know me. Heck, I was some little redneck kid. And
so
me and Wallace. Yeah, me and Wallace, we're pretty close. He called me that Monday after the Dome. He's telling me, like, with all this success, you're gonna have a lot of hate come along, but you just gotta, blend it out. They got their opinions like you got yours, and they might not be right. They might, and they don't know the full story of me. They don't know where I came from. They didn't know, that was, my car. It's one of those deals. So he told me, and it really struck me. He said, "I'm the next Kenny Wallace. I'm Kenny Wallace Jr."
There you go.
Amen.
You're going to be in the Daytona 500 then. I
don't know. If somebody wants to say, "Hey, I'm going to give you money. We're going to NASCAR,"
I'm in.
We'll go to North Carolina right then and there.
So you mentioned, have you gotten any hate since the Gateway deal?
Yeah, I mean, people think it was embarrassing for the sport. It's stupid. It was, childish. It was ungrateful. But heck, I mean, me and Dad's the only two people that was out there. We're the team. Me and Dad. Of course, we have people up there helping us and helping the car sometimes in the shop, but it's me and Dad. I know what goes in the car. Heck, I'm my own tire guy, body man, PR. I can't say PR man. That's Mom and Billy. I've the halfway, setup man. Of course, I got my buddy Justin Corsi helping me out, but I do a lot of this stuff at the racetrack myself. And I'm not going out here and just wrecking race cars, running over people because my dad funds it. But it's one of those deals. I take care of my stuff because I know what it costs, and I know it's not really easy to get back. These race cars are expensive, motors are expensive, tires are expensive. I just try to take care of my equipment as best as I can. But that's what they were saying. I didn't pay for nothing. I don't work. I just went out there to wreck a race car on purpose, and I didn't really mean to. I mean, it happened. It can happen anywhere. It can happen at the racetrack right down the road, or heck, it can happen at the Daytona 500. People wreck stuff, and they may not mean it. They may mean it. I've seen plenty of people wreck stuff on purpose, trying to wreck somebody else. But it's just one of those things. Somebody wasn't happy about it. Oh well, a lot of people were.
See, and
a lot more were than weren't.
I saw it as being making the best of a bad situation, and you could tell that you were enthusiastic to be there.
No, it's still like it's giving me chills right now. I mean, I made a name for myself, and it was at one of my favorite events of all time. The Gateway Dirt Nationals, and it's one of those things. I had the opportunity, and I took it. And that was my only time I was. If I flipped and got out and gave a crappy interview, yeah, he wrecked me, yeah, he ran me in the wall, this car sucks, they would have seen me as a spoiled little punk brat, and that's all they would have seen me as for the rest of my career. Or I could have done what I did.
Yeah.
He's very wise for a young man.
It is for Kenny Wallace's stepson. You know.
Well, I've had, I've seen for myself spoiled little brats in racing. I've seen them get second, drove a great race at a go-kart, get up, throw their helmet, throw their jacket, like a $1,000 painted helmet, throw it on the go-kart, chip it up, throw their gloves, just, and I looked at myself, and I was like, I don't ever want to be seen as doing that.
Not me.
And if something happens and I get upset at the racetrack, I normally try to go in the trailer and just, calm myself down, solve it, and then get back out, work on the race car, get back out, load the race car up, and go home.
So you mentioned Volusia coming up. What are the rest of your plans for racing this year?
If I told you, I'd be lying. I really don't know.
You're kind of, you know who Rusty Slink is?
Yeah, I know Rusty Slink.
We talked to him quite a bit, and he always says when we ask him that question, I don't know until the morning of. Yeah,
we can run a local show, paying $600 to win one night. And then next week we can go up and, run for $10,000. We really don't know.
So no plans to run for a local track championship or anything?
No, heck, I've never really tried to run for a track championship. I've always been go where I can get the most experience, try different tracks, different track conditions, different states. Heck, Peevely, I-55, we went up there a few years back. Heck, won the first ever feature I ran there. So it was pretty cool. So and it's stuff like that. If I just stayed around home or in Clarksville, Cedar Ridge, stuff like that, I never get to experience, that. And if I stayed around home, I never would have got, that feeling of winning, at Peevely. And that's not easy to do. Jim Black, Trev Jacoby, you got talent right in that St. Louis area is, I call UMP capital of the world. There's so much talent in that St. Louis area. It's unbelievable. It's like you go to North Carolina for NASCAR. Mm-hmm. All the big people come from St. Louis for UMP.
Any thoughts of heading to Eldora this year?
I'm 16, so I can. I've thought about it. It's just when the right opportunity. I don't want to go up there and run for $500. Heck, that's like 6 hours from my house.
Right.
Heck, I could sit in my back door until 4:00 in the afternoon and go race for 6. It's just, like I said, it's just me and my dad, small budget team. But if we get the opportunity to, and it's worth the trip, we might go to Eldora.
Cool.
Any thoughts about jumping on the Hell Tour with the Summit Racing Modifieds?
Like I said, it's just me and Dad on a low budget team. I'd love to run the Hell Tour.
You haven't had a whole bunch of sponsors beating down your door since Gateway?
Not beating down our door. Heck, we had to ask them. We went to PRI, and heck, they just kind of blew me off as another person just trying to get free stuff, But just going to those big racetracks. Yeah, of course I want to go. Go run the Hell Tour. Name a race car driver that wouldn't want to go run the Hell Tour. It's just, the funding and, the lack of hands on the car. It makes it hard. And plus, heck, that's 3 months of no work. And heck, Dad, he builds houses. So, it really hurt him.
I don't know how those guys can do that. Either the late models or the modifieds running all those races.
Race teams.
Let's shift gears a little bit. You started a podcast, the You Can't Park There podcast. Tell us what that's all about, how it came to being.
Well, I've always wanted to do a podcast. With me and my buddies, sit down, we talk about racing and talk about what's going on in our lives. And me and Cole Hilton, I think that's a good match because we kind of both come from the same background, karts to cars. And, Cole, he's one of my best friends. So I just I called Cole. I was like, hey, you want to start a podcast? He's like, sure. And then that next Thursday we started our first episode.
So your podcasts are the same night as our podcast, as a matter of fact. But where can people find you?
We're just on Facebook right now, the You Can't Park There podcast. We're live Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Central time. I'm thinking of Eastern time. Y'all are Eastern.
We're Eastern. Yours.
Right.
Okay, right after you listen to us at 7 o'clock Eastern time, tune in to Charlie's You Can't Park There at 8 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock Central.
Yeah, and they heck, we had Fergie on last week. We had Kenny Wallace on. We got a pretty big guest coming up. We're gonna take off this week. Just give us a little break, but next week we got a pretty big guest coming on. You know, a NASCAR Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
No spoilers. You can't give a hint. Like a number.
Drove the number 6 car for a little bit.
Oh, that's my guy.
Ooh.
That's my guy. I'll have to tune in for that.
Yeah, drove the number 6 car for a while. For Roush Yates, of course.
Valvoline is a sponsor.
Valvoline was a sponsor.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Drove the GoDaddy car too at the end of his career.
Do you like some of those old school?
You don't understand. You know, Earnhardt. That's my man. You know, I never got to see him race, but heck, this room kind of is like a shrine to Dale Earnhardt. We got Earnhardt flags, banners, pictures, just all stuff like that. This used to be my dad's office, but I kind of took over about last Christmas, and now it's my office. Studio, the podcast studio.
There you go. It's hard to believe, though, that we lost Dale before you were even born, right?
And heck, and it's funny because my driving style was just like Earnhardt's in go-karts. Like I was intimidation. Yeah, that was my factor. You can look over your shoulder in go-karts and stuff like that, and they'd see, that all black, black helmet, black jacket, black gloves, black Gotti, just sitting there like this, coming at you. Golf there. They missed the next corner.
Is that where the number 3's from on your car?
Kinda, sorta. I don't know. It's Tyler nicely does it. The little 2 big 5, and I did it the year before. I kind of got with him, and I had a Dale Earnhardt wrap, matter of fact, and I had a little one, and then the Dale Earnhardt 3, and I had it just like that, and then it's kind of just stuck since. I like it like that. I don't like the the double digit numbers. I like the single numbers. I think they look the best on race cars. And, a lot of people, and it's hard because a lot of people get confused. They think it is 3, but it's 13. So I don't know. It's different, and I like different.
Okay, that's fair.
Different stands out. If you're going to take anything from me in life, different stands out.
There you go. And you proved that at the Gateway Dirt Nationals. If not necessarily just different, but yeah, I guess different. We'll go with different.
Stands out.
Yeah. You could have been like after you got out of the car, you could have been like pissed at yourself and all down, but you have a very positive attitude, which
cool.
I found refreshing.
Yeah, I really, I sat there, and I was upside down. I was like,
didn't you have your phone under your leg or something? I thought I read.
Yep. I have my old cellular device in the car with me because you got on the dome floor. You're there for 30 minutes. I'm like, I ain't gonna sit out here and just sit for 30 minutes. I'm taking my phone with me. So I take my phone with me, and then it's funny. I go upside down, and then you see it fall, and then the old boy just comes up and gives it to me, and I just don't buy him nothing by it. I was like, all right, put it in my pocket.
Yeah. So you said that wasn't your car that you drove there.
Well, it is now. We bought it. Okay, we wasn't gonna be like, here. It's tore up. Take it back. We don't want it. But yeah, we did the right thing. We bought it, and we kept it around. It's still sitting here at the house. Jared Phelps. He helped us a lot. He don't get the recognition he deserves. He's helped us a lot through our career. Heck, me and Dad, we have no mechanical instincts in us at all, but we're wrenching on race cars every day of our lives. But he's really helped us out, with mechanical, and heck, he loaned us his car to go race the Dome, and it really means a lot to me for somebody to put me in their race car. They spent all their hard money and time on. So yeah, Jared Phelps, he let us use his car, and we accidentally tore it up big time.
From somebody that fixes race cars for a living, trust me, it's fixable.
It's fixable.
It might be. We've thought about sending it off, getting it clipped and stuff like that, and maybe put some different stuff on it. Maybe making it a street car, And we do keep it. We're gonna make it a B mod. Run some B mod, local shows around here.
Do you want to give a shout out to your sponsors?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I can do that. I'd for sure like to thank the Lord and Savior above. He keeps me safe every time I go on the racetrack, and he gives me the pride and ability to do this every weekend. Mom and Dad, Mefford Construction, they're my number ones, my number one supporters. They do everything for me. Heck, they take out of their personal lives and put into my racing career. Scotty Owens, my biggest help that's not related to me. Let's stay at his house. Heck, invites us to everything, and it goes from simply just paying our meals to letting us keep our car in the shop and taking us racing with them. Scotty, he's really helped me out the past couple of years, and his whole family, just great people to be around. Race Ranch, my merchandise people, Matt, he's done a lot in the past, from picking us up. And it's funny, the Race Ranch, it was just a joke at first. We kind of was bickering at him when we was leaving Clarksville Speedway after the Hell Tour in 2020. And he was like, "Hey James, you gonna making some shirts this year?" And we was just bickering at him. And he was like, "Yeah, we can do that." So it's funny because this Race Ranch deal is just a joke that turned into a fortune. And they Lizard Lit Pit Lights, Bitten Barbershop, Quality Towing, picked up some new sponsors, Weir's Machine, Charlie's Garage, Mom's Cleaning Service, Dirt Defender, Earnhardt Technology Group, Elite Chassis, I run Elite. Nick, he makes amazing race cars. Dig City for Justin Coursey for keeping the car on dig. Quality Towing, can't forget about my engine builder, Philip Oakley. Heck, I mean, how much can you help me out? Gives me a job, cuts me deals on motors. He's all in all pretty much a great guy. And we're still taking on sponsors. If anybody's interested, hit us up on Facebook, Charlie Mefford Racing. We'd always be happy to have you on the car.
Man, he's got like 30 more sponsors than I do.
Yeah.
Need to work. I need to get you as my PR guy.
No, I ain't much of a PR guy.
One of our listeners.
I just like talking. That's it.
Okay, well, good, because one of our listeners, he said that I had to ask you this, if you could do that imitation of what it was like to race at the Gateway Dirt Nationals.
Oh, go through the holes.
Yes.
So here, I'll teach y'all how to do this.
Okay, thank you.
So for sure, you got to get up here and grab the wheel, and you kind of got to get that drive. Wah! You kind of get hopping a little bit, and you go off the corner, wah, and then har, got to chop up the wheel a little bit, and bounce off the cushion, wah, bow, wah, and that's how you do the Charlie Mefford impression at the Dome.
Is that how it felt in the car?
Sort of, somewhat, yeah.
Okay.
Like more, wah,
What was the wreck like? What did that sound like?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention enough. I was like, "Oh, I'm going upside down." Okay, hello, nice. And it's funny because I didn't make anything of that up in the interview. Like I was like, I got up in the fence and I started going upside down. I was like, "What am I doing?" And I swear, and that's exactly what I was like. What am I doing? Why am I going upside down right now? Why am I on my lid?
Did it feel like it was in slow motion?
Not really.
No.
Everybody says they reckon slow motion. That didn't feel like slow motion.
Yeah.
That felt like I was flipping at 100 miles an hour.
I've been upside down a couple of times, and it just felt like slow motion.
Was that the first time you were upside down?
First time I was upside down in a go-kart, race car, or anything.
Wow.
That's probably why.
You did it at the Gateway Dirt Nationals in front of a national audience, so I mean,
if I'm going to flip anywhere, it has to.
And you made yourself famous doing it.
Yeah, I got to flip at the Dome.
Well, all right, Charlie. We'll let you go here. Charlie Mefford, you're going to be at the down at Volusia here in a week or two?
Yes, sir. We're going to try to, and they, you keep us, keep updates with us at Charlie Mefford Racing. Go over there, and, give us a like, and we'll be posting most of our updates up there. Where we're going next and where we've been.
And check out the You Can't Park There podcast as well.
Now you're off this week. Is that what you said?
Off this week, yes, sir. We're gonna have a very special guest.
Okay.
The listeners.
six.
The six.
So a
Roush
week from
Fenway
now, when
6.
you get done listening to us, just jump over to the You Can't Park Here podcast.
There. Can't park there.
Park there. Yeah.
How many people get that wrong? You can't park here
A
or
lot
park
of
there.
people. A lot of people. Matter of fact, when I walked out with Drake at the Dome, one of his crew guys "You can't park here." I was like, "It's there, but let's roll."
I saw some interviews where they were saying here instead of there, and you just kind of let it go.
You get the point.
Yeah, it's one letter. It's one letter different.
I'm just happy I'm noticed. That's it.
Well, I don't know if this will help, but our listeners our
Frequently.
guests frequently, we'll say that, will go on to win their very next race after being on the show. So, no pressure.
Is that really?
Yeah.
It happens
Okay.
It happens more often than not.
Probably
Well,
80%, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, don't matter if I'm winning, go karts or big cars. I'm happy to win. Because sitting as a racer standpoint, you never know when your last one's going to be.
Oh
You
yeah.
never know when your next one's going to be. So every time I win, they're always like, "Why are you celebrating so much?" I'm like, "Because this may be my last one ever. Like, I may not be able to race ever again." So it's one of those deals. You got to celebrate it while you can, and you got to cherish every moment, because cherish every moment of life, because it could be taken away just like that.
I have a weird feeling though you'll probably get at least one more.
I got a weird feeling I'm gonna win Evolution. I got that deep feeling in my
A lot of
gut.
races.
Well, you should, especially now.
Well, because they're doing a different format. Like they cut the field up by 20. They take first 20 feature, second 20 feature, third 20 feature, fourth 20 feature. So we're like 6 features every night. Evolution.
Wow.
Huh. What night does that start for you?
It starts Monday,
Okay.
the 6th, and modifieds only Monday, and then it pulls into the sprint cars Tuesday.
And you're gonna stay down there for a while then?
Stay down there till probably Saturday, Sunday.
Nice.
Till spring.
I don't know how cold it is in Kentucky right now, but
Freezing.
okay.
I hate the cold weather. I hate the cold.
Well, then
I
you'll
like
enjoy
being
Florida.
able to go outside and just shorts on and just not be freezing. I like just being outside, being hot and sweaty. I don't know why.
Yep. No question.
I can't be cold, because if I'm cold, I'm staying inside in a heater. Like I got low iron, so I go outside, I get cold quick, and I stay cold.
90 degrees on a hot night, climb out of your race car, it feels good.
Oh, you ain't kidding. As soon as you take that suit off, there's no feeling like it. You cannot explain it.
That's it.
Do they do any like New Year's Day races in your area?
Hangover at 411.
Okay. See, we do
Go
a hangover.
karts, that's a different story.
They do a hangover race at Sandusky Speedway up here, and it's always really cold. That's not something then that you would ever do, a hangover kind of race. 'Cause it's cold.
I don't know. It's the hangover. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I can race in the cold. I just can't be.
You can race.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I got that suit on. You know what's funny? I was hanging out in town the other night, and it got so cold. I put my suit on because I had it in the car. So I was like, "It's cold. I'm putting my suit on." So I'll look goofy just run around the town, have my racing suit on.
Yeah, but you were warm.
Just around town.
You dang, I'm right. I was warm.
Okay.
Very good.
That's what I do. I wear my suit when I'm cold.
Yeah.
At the track.
I've always
Never
been wanting to, wear my suit out in town, but I never really thought about it. Never really got the ball rolling, but I finally did. And it's funny because everybody knows, I race. Everybody knows what happened, so it's pretty funny.
Now, do you have? I'm trying to remember what your suit. Do you have like your name on your suit?
Yeah, I got Mefford across the back.
That's right. All right. So people come up to you and go, "Hey, Mefford."
Yeah,
Mefford with
Charlie.
construction under it.
Yeah, I got Mefford Construction right here. They
you
call
go.
me Charlie, Charles, Mefford. They call me a lot of names.
Does anybody call you the "You can't park there" guy?
Yeah,
Okay.
they call me the Pit Lizard Pimp. They call me all my nicknames. Charlie Charlie is the biggest one. Everybody calls me that.
Nice. Well, Charlie, it's been a pleasure. We got to move on though. Good luck at Volusia, and
We'll be watching.
keep in touch.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on tonight. As soon as it comes out, y'all let me know. We'll
Okay.
plaster it on all social medias.
All right, we'll do.
Very good.
All right, appreciate y'all.
We'll see you. There you go, Charlie Mefford, the Pit Lizard Pimp. Self-proclaimed.
For 16 years old, he is so well spoken.
Absolutely. Fun interview.
Yeah.
Very accommodating, too. No Hammer Down hotline for you this week. Again, if you want to text or call in the Hammer Down hotline, feel free to do so. That number is right there on your screen, 419-318-3081, 419-318-3081. Call or text anytime, day or night. And it's time for, I think, how many? Yeah.
How many?
I don't know. How many? So last week's how many was how many World of Outlaw late models? We're going to be at Volusia on Saturday night. 0.
We don't know how many were there.
Zero were racing.
But none of them raced.
0 is the correct number. You picked 44. I was dumb and said 45. So you got the advantage
I'm
there.
closer to 0
you're
than
closer
you
to 0.
are, yeah.
Our closest listener was Doug Frost. He guessed 39.
Ooh.
So he was the close. That was the lowest guess that we had. Congratulations, Doug Frost. You got yourself a Big D's pizza. You got 30 days to claim your pizza. If you need information on how to do that, get a hold of me, Dean Henry, or get a hold of
I wonder how
Big
many
D's
were there
Pizza.
on Friday.
I know there were more Friday than there were Thursday because there was a couple more cars, but I don't remember off the top of my head. But it was probably close to that. So you want a chance to win a Big D's pizza for next week on the show? We'll figure out who the winner is. This weekend, the Lucas Oil late models are kicking things off. As a matter of fact, they're doing that tonight through Saturday. But this week's how many is how many Lucas Oil late models will be in action Saturday night at Golden Isles. Saturday night
at Golden Isles.
Golden Isles, that is in Georgia.
Yeah.
What do you think? You won, so you get
That's
to pick
right.
first.
I was closer to 0. Oh, geez.
Yeah, don't look at the screen. That's not going to help you this week.
I'm thinking 36.
I'm going to go with your number, 35 then.
All right.
Since I went 1 over you last week and that bit me in the butt, I'm going 1 under.
And you got burned.
I did. So if you want a chance to win that Big D's pizza, put your guess in the comments of our Facebook Live or the YouTube Live. Both of them will count. If you're listening to us on iHeartRadio or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, not live, that's fine. You can get in on this. Just find our Facebook Live broadcast from Thursday night and
jump in on the comments.
Just put your comment in there. As long as it's before, we'll say noon on Saturday. Noon Eastern on Saturday.
Sounds fair.
So noon Eastern on Saturday, that's the cutoff for that, for a chance to win a Big D.
The snow's not heading to Florida for the weekend, is it?
I don't know. I didn't get a hold of Ryan Weekman this week.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
He was on vacation earlier this week.
This weekend's Big D's Pizza Racing Menu.
As we mentioned, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series in action at Golden Isles Speedway. That starts tonight through Saturday. Super Bowl racing. We talked about it last week and wondered how they get away with calling it the Super Bowl racing since that's owned by the NFL. But
what
whatever.
they do.
It's all good. It's, I guess, kind of like the Daytona 500. They call that the Super Bowl of the NASCAR Super Bowl or something.
Yeah.
And they always say it's weird because NASCAR starts off with their biggest race of the year.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but
because you can.
Yeah. The United Sprints Car Series, I believe they're at Volusia this weekend too. I didn't put that in my notes, but
okay.
So I think there's some racing going on at Volusia as well. So, and that's it for this edition of the Hammer Down Racing Report, whatever the hell this show's called. Thanks to
260 some shows, and you can't remember who we are.
Thanks to our associate producer Dave Kemmer, contributors Matt Swander, John Young, Doug Dock, and Bob Stazak. Again, make sure to like us on Facebook. I just wanted to do that. Follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report. Follow us on YouTube. Listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform. Check us out at hammerdownracingreport.com. You want to be a sponsor? Information on how to do that is there, or at least what packages we have available. Also, rate and review us. Share us with your friends.
Please.
Take the video, share it with your friends. That helps us as well. Thanks to our sponsors, Big D's Pizza, Oakshade Raceway, Ron Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos, Headhunters, Barber Studio and Salon. And thanks again to Charlie Mefford for joining us this week.
cool interview.
And good luck to him at Volusia next week. Yeah. So get out and support your local track if you're in Georgia or Florida. I think that's pretty much it, right?
Keep that snow shovel handy because it's going to do it some more.
We'll see you back here next Thursday night, 7 o'clock. We're out.
Good.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.